Dennis here again. Today I wanted to deviate a little bit from the normal amateur radio style videos that I've been posting over the past few months to give you an updated look at the Haiku operating system. And the Haiku operating system is basically a re-implementation of the former BOS, which had a pretty big following of users, but went defunct a few years back. And some of the users who were really heavy into this decided to start a project that would re-implement a lot of the features and the functionality as well as the API compatible with old BOS applications. According to their website, Haiku is an operating system that specifically targets personal computing inspired by the BOS. Haiku is fast, simple to use, easy to learn, and yet very powerful. And for me, I believe that's entirely true. It is a very powerful operating system. For I was involved in the project at one point in the past where I had helped out with their mailing list, or not the mailing list, the the website, answering some emails that were coming into the general inquiry addresses, that type of thing. And I was also relatively regular in the IRC channels as well as the forums on the website. I haven't been involved in any way in the past few years. However, I do always keep an eye on the project. I'm still subscribed to the mailing lists and all that, so I can keep an eye on what's going on and just keep an eye out because I'm really interested to see how everything's going to play out. Over the past few months here, we've had a pretty big release. Actually, back in September, on September 28th, 2018, the project finally released the release one beta one, which has been many years in the making. And the operating system is extremely stable. And comes with a lot of built-in applications as well as has some pretty decent compatibility. I'll put a link down in the description here to link to the website where you can find all the information about the operating system, but I won't go through compatibility lists with hardware or anything like that. Today, I just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of an overview, show you a few things that come bundled with the operating system, and a few things that we can do here. Now, there are some parts of this that are fairly buggy still. Some of the applications are buggy. The web browser, in particular, I found to be relatively buggy. But with that said, they are making some pretty big strides in getting rid of some of those bugs for the built-in web browser, which in this case is known as Web Positive. And we'll show you a little bit of that in a bit. But first, I wanted to just show you, we have a screenshot of the desktop here. You'll have to forgive me. We're running not in a 16 by 9 resolution here. I'm currently running the OS in VirtualBox, and this is just the way that I currently have it configured. I'll also post a link to the virtual machine configuration guide in the show notes here or the description as well, so that you can take a look. And if you want to set it up yourself, there's plenty of good information there to show you how to set up the virtual machine environment so you can install Haiku. And the first thing I wanted to show you was the biggest feature that I had been waiting for over the years, which was the package manager. Oh, wrong one here. And in this case, the package manager is known as Haiku Depot, and we bring it up here. So basically, it works like any other typical package manager from Linux or any other operating system that has this sort of thing. You can add, remove repositories. Currently, I have the main Haiku repository plus the Haiku ports, which contains the majority of the applications that are available. And you do have some options to show you available packages, install packages, that sort of thing. So if we do a refresh repository, you can see here that we are fetching the remote remote details there. Oh, for some reason that seems to go away. But one thing we can also do is we can check for updates. And this is very handy where we'll go ahead and actually do a quick update here now where we can see we're taking revision 52716. We're downloading that from the website. Um, and it gives you, like any other package management system, it gives you details of what's going on here. Tells you which packages are to be updated, which packages are to be installed from new, and that sort of thing. While that's going on, we can see here that we do come bundled with plenty of applications. A lot of the stuff that we would expect, like a calculator, drive setup, which is a partitioning and drive management tool. We do have a little applet down here, workspaces. This is not configured by default. I had to do that myself, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. But if we switch over to another workspace while the package manager is downloading updates, you can see that we have a built-in file compression tool, compression decompression, have built-in media player, audio video. Don't have any media currently on the virtual machine to really demonstrate that, but it also does come with demos here as well. So we can see here that we have a 3D Haiku logo here that will demonstrate some of the 3D capabilities of the system, as well as we have a Mandelbrot demo here, and we also have the good old GL teapot. This is something that's been included here in Haiku ever since I can remember. So that shows you some of the graphics capabilities. Looks like the Haiku 3D crashed when I tried to exit. And we do still see some little items like that here and there where we get little crashes or little bugs. Nothing too major though. We also have a terminal. We have a shell, just like any other operating system. You have to have a shell to do your command line stuff. And we'll switch back over here. We're still downloading that. Comes built in with, we do have an activity monitor here that will show memory, CPU usage, update time. So that shows you memory and CPU usage here. And you can also add these little applet or little icons up here that'll show you like network activity, that sort of thing. And you'll have to forgive me, I'm not an expert in the platform by any means. I'm just kind of a hobbyist who likes to keep an eye on this, and open source and alternative operating systems have always been kind of a interest of mine. So, like I said, I'm not an expert, so we're just going to go through some things here, and we'll show you what we can. And here we can show you the web positive web browser. Default is to open up the Haiku web page. As you can see, it has the majority of the, we have bookmarks feature just like we would in any other web browser. This web browser will play YouTube videos. However, that's one of the areas where there are still some issues, and sometimes find bugs when trying to play YouTube videos. It's a little bit choppy, I find at times. That could also be that we're also viewing this on a virtual machine as opposed to something like your hardware or something. So let's see if we can search Here we have, a video of Haiku. Let's play a video of Haiku in Haiku. See if we can.
I use Grammarly pretty much every time I type on my computer.
And here you see that we are getting some skipping, but this part of it could be running this in a virtual machine as opposed to just the web browser itself. But here we see that once we've tried to click play, pause, that the video itself seems to have frozen. Let's see if we can refresh and try this again.
Today I'm going to be taking a look at Haiku. Haiku is an open source operating system.
So we do have some latency there, but again, I won't focus too much on that because I know the guys behind the development are working on the web browser, and again, we're playing it in a virtual machine. So here we go back and we see that the updates have been completed. A reboot may be necessary. One thing that's really awesome about Haiku is that we can reboot the system really quickly. We'll show you here now. Restart. It reboots extremely quickly. And boom, we're basically back in here already. So you can see how quick and responsive the operating system is here. Let's see if we have what. So there's desktop applets that I was mentioning here, like these. We have workspace, process controller, power status. You can install that in the desk bar. Here we see this isn't a laptop, so it's always going to obviously show full charge. Let's see here, recent documents, Road Fighter. So here we have the Road Fighter game. This is a game that I downloaded from the package management. Let's just turn that down a little bit. And there we go. One player. Try level A, and we'll show you quickly. This runs really well. And it's just controlled by the keyboard. Spacebar to go, left and right to move. And there we go, we crashed. Anyways, we don't really need to show too much of that one. So let's go and see what else we have that we can show you here. We do have disk usage. We can do a scan. Here we'll see, what is using the hard drive. You can see that one thing that's really neat, and I suppose somebody's going to crucify me for this, but I don't know a whole lot about how the OS is designed on the back end, but from what I understand, the mail, and this was possibly done like this in VOS as well, where mail is basically handled as file system objects. So under your mail folder, you have your different inbox. Well, you have your inbox. Or for example, we go to an account that I had set up here, which is just one of my dummy accounts, where we had where you can see that mail were sent, which are basically just handled as file system files. You can delete them. This, and you can see my ISP sending me emails for my monthly payments. Spam folder, same thing, would be just, I guess, maybe the way we deleted them. Just puts them in the trash bin. Yep, so here we see that we have all those files in the trash bin. So there we go, that shows some of the mail features. I don't have that email account actually set up in here at the moment, so I can't really send anything, but the mail application is pretty straightforward. Let's see if we can find the configuration. I'll have to go back here and edit. Here we can set up the account, add, put in your, whether you want to IMAP or POP3, put in your information there, and basically that's it. You can tell it how often to check, that sort of thing, but the configuration is very straightforward and easy to do. Not what I wanted there. Settings, so here we can also set default account for outgoing mail, or your default account for mail, user interface, some basic settings, font size, colored quotes, that sort of thing. Which is great. It's good to have that built into the operating system. It makes things a little easier when you're starting out. Here we can see device list, multimedia controller, for example. This is our network controller, sorry. This is the network controller that we've defined within VirtualBox. It will tell us the device type, gives the PCI information, and detailed information, manufacturer, driver use, that sort of thing. We have a media converter, MIDI player, contact manager sort of thing there. Serial application. We do have software updaters, which is basically, this is just the standalone updater that is basically the same thing that I showed under Haiku. We have a built-in text editor here. About open source, a high performance editor. There you go. Haiku rules. So we have PE editor here. We also have Foreman. Let's just, yep, it's fine. That's a Foreman web server. That comes built in. I've never really played with that, so I don't have much to say. We have BAE here for audio editing. So it comes bundled with quite a few applications here. So it's really comes with pretty much everything you need to get started out. We have Vision, IRC client here. Let's see if we can connect. Go. Previously configured this to connect automatically to the Haiku channel as well as the ham radio channel here that I frequently use. Here we see this is the main IRC channel for Haiku. Most of the devs hang out here from time to time. Anyways, we'll quit. So really, that's a pretty decent overview. Doesn't get into any of the technical items. We do have, I guess, a lot of settings here that we can change for the operating system. So maybe we'll go through this a little bit. First, we have media. We have audio settings, gain. Here's our audio mixer. So we have the gain, video settings, video input, video output. Network configuration. Here we can configure our DNS settings, FTP server, So we can enable FTP server, SSH, Telnet. We can also configure whether we want a dynamic or static IP address. Bluetooth configuration, appearance, backgrounds. Here we can play with the background on the current workspace. Another neat thing that we can do too is we can actually just move around the logo. So if you want to put that anywhere in the middle to the side, that you can place it. You can center it there. Scale to fit. Oh Lord. Pilot. So we'll just put it back to center here. And you can also do on other workspaces. Same thing. Apply it to all workspaces. So let's see. We can configure the desk bar. Sort applications by name. Show how many recent documents, recent folders, recent applications we want to show. Tracker always first. That sort of thing is what we can do. Just the icon size. And just some small aesthetic customizations there. Keyboard, locale. Here we can select our language. English already chosen. That's a good thing. We do have all kinds of options here. So I'm in Canada, so let's, I guess, select that. Formatting. So it's pretty customizable. One thing I have not done is I have not ever set up or tried to set up a printer with Haiku. Main reason is I don't have any printers to connect, really. I have one in the house which is connected to my other machine, so when I need to print, I just print that. But anyways, I think that provides a relatively decent overview, albeit not overly technical, of the Haiku operating system platform. So I'll put some links down in the description to the VirtualBox guide, the website, and anything else I find interesting that might help you along if you're interested in trying. And as always, feel free to leave a comment section in the comment section below if you have any questions or feedback or anything. Like I said, I'm not a developer or involved in the project in any way at this point, so my information on the technical side of these things may be a little outdated or maybe a little incorrect, so feel free to correct me below at any point, and that's always appreciated. Once this operating system goes into a full release, then maybe we'll do another update video at that point as well. Alright, thanks for watching.